What is going on off the record, fans? Today is April 8th, and we've got some music news for you. If you haven't been watching SNL, I believe Elton John has been popping in and actually playing with some of the live artists. He was on SNL this last Saturday. So I want to bring up a little piece of news I had no clue about. Again, I'm not a huge Elton John fan, but he is an amazing artist. I would love to see him live. But let's get into it. For those of you that don't know, pop star beef, Madonna versus Elton John. Glitter, grudges, and glamour. All right, folks, let's talk about the drama. Let's talk about the shade. Let's talk about these two absolute icons who have sold out arenas, top charts, and were afraid to throw a little glitter-laced venom at each other. I'm talking about Madonna and Sir Elton John. That's right, two of the biggest pop star legends of all time. For over a decade, they were caught in one of the coldest, sassiest feuds in music history. We're talking about two very sassy pop stars. Now, this wasn't just a few subtweets or a passive-aggressive red carpet stare. This feud had teeth. So get comfortable, pour yourself something sparkly, and let's dive into the timeline of tantrums, trophies, and terrific shade. All right. So let's wind down the year 2002. Picture it. Madonna's movie W.E. is out, and she wins a Golden Globe for Best Original Song for her track, Masterpiece. Everyone's clapping, smiling, except one person, Sir Elton John. He hears the news, and he just snaps. He tells a reporter, and I quote, "Madonna, best song? F off." That's his quote. Yep, he said that. Let's just pause here. This wasn't a private text leak or a hot mic situation. This was on record. Elton said what he said, and he said it with a full chest. Now, why so salty? Well, Elton was nominated last year for the year before that for a Moulin Rouge track. He felt Madonna didn't deserve the win and that she didn't even perform the song live at the award show. He saw it as fake, inauthentic lip singing. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beginning of the glamour grudge match. So, after that, Elton didn't let up. No, he came to Madonna's performance. He came for her performance style. He publicly accused her of lip syncing on stage, not once, not twice, but repeatedly. He said, again, full quote here, "Anyone who lip syncs in public on stage when paid $75,000 to see them, $75 to see them should be shot." Whew, yikes. Should be shot, Elton John said. Now listen, Elton, that's a bit aggressive for a man who plays piano and bedazzled sunglasses. But go off, I guess. It's your right. To be fair, Madonna has been known to sing live and occasionally mime a few lines while she's doing cartwheels and heels. Impressive. Can you blame her? Have you seen her shows? It's a cardio class disguised as a concert. I wouldn't be able to make it 2 minutes. You can ask my girlfriend. So, Madonna's clapback. Now, here's where things get interesting. Madonna, who, let's be honest, is no stranger to controversy. She is a queen of it. Didn't hit back with the same level of fire. Instead, she played very cool. Very queen energy. She told press Elton was being ungracious and mean-spirited. And during her MDNA tour in 2012, she actually dedicated the song Masterpiece to Elton John. With a smirk, real petty like, with a smirk when somebody knows they're winning. That was the vibe that Madonna went for. She said, "I like to dedicate the song to Mr. Elton John." She didn't even use sir. "I know he's a big fan of it, and I know he's a big fan of me. And you know what? I forgive him." Boom. It's a mic drop wrapped in glitter. Madonna has been shocking audiences for decades. It's how she started her fandom. I'm not surprised at all. But nonetheless, Elton keeps going. But Elton wasn't done. Nope. He kept tossing shade in interviews, sometimes directly, sometimes sneakily. He even criticized her Super Bowl performance in 2012, calling it a fairground show. And this was intentional because nothing says dismissive British insult like fairground show. Now, at this point, fans were choosing sides. And it's like Team Madonna versus Team Elton. And honestly, I think most of us were team entertained. I mean, we're talking about two very sassy pop stars. As you can see, over a decade of them going back and forth, the sass has no end. So let's get to that awkward apology. Eventually, though, the feud fizzled. Kind of. Elton revealed in 2012 that he and Madonna bumped into each other at a restaurant in France. He said, and I quote again, because this is juicy, "I apologize. She's very gracious. I apologize profusely. She accepted, and she was fantastic." Now, that was a genuine truce, or was Elton just tired of being shaded at every award show? We may never know. But we do know that since then, things have been most quiet. No more insults, no more public call-outs, just mutual respect, or at least mutual silence from both of them. The legendary level of pettiness. So what we have learned from all this is that even at the top, egos are fragile. That awards matter, even when you've got dozens, and that even pop royalty have petty moments. But here's the thing. The feud wasn't just about ego. It was about two artists who cared deeply about their craft, about performance, authenticity, recognition, and yes, a little fabulous drama. Madonna and Elton are both legends, stable trailblazers, and honestly, I'm grateful for the feud. It gave headlines, performances, shade, and a reminder that divas are just like us, just with more feathers, more Grammys, and probably a lot more opinions. So let's see if they perform together. Let's see if they do something. Elton's definitely getting to the end of his career. I know he's not touring anymore. He's just doing one-off shows and performances here and there. I think he's really at a part in his life where he's looking to collaborate with artists that he likes, people that he's friends with, but also just things that make sense for him. I believe the fact that he's been at SNL the last couple of months is because maybe he's in New York. I'm not sure. I didn't really do the research, but it seems like he's having a great time playing music with other artists. Again, this is a live show. Please feel free to comment down below, get involved in the discussion. If you have anything to add. Not sure where the music is coming from. There we go. My apologies. This is what happens when you start going to news sites. So, second artist I'm looking to cover today, Knocked Loose. So, we're going to get loud, raw, and real about music with what's shaking up the scene. So, if you've never heard of these guys, first of all, Where have you been? And second, buckle up because Knocked Loose is not just your another heavy band. They're one of the most explosive forces in the hardcore scene right now, and they've built a reputation on making music that feels like a panic attack in audio form in the best way possible. So, origin story, let's start from the beginning. Knocked Loose came out of Oldham County, Kentucky around 2013, which is wild because when you think of Kentucky, you might think of bourbon, horse racing, not necessarily breakdowns and blast beats. But somehow, from the small town, these guys managed to spark a whole movement in the modern hardcore and metal scene. They came out swinging with an EP called Old Culture in 2014. Short, aggressive, packed with promise. But it was 2016 when they dropped their first full-length laugh tracks. That's when things really started to lift for them. That album wasn't just heavy, it was visceral. The vocals were shrieking, and the riffs were shaped enough to cut glass. And the breakdowns? Absolutely brutal. People took notice of this band super quick. The Knocked Loose effect. So what makes Knocked Loose different? Because let's be real, there's no shortage of heavy bands out there. But Knocked Loose taps into something a little deeper. Their frontman, Brian Garris, has his vocal style that's not just aggressive, it's panicked. Like, he doesn't just scream, he sounds like he's in the middle of a breakdown, emotionally, and who knows what else. And that rawness, that honesty, is what connects people. And their music is structured in a way that keeps you constantly on edge. You never know when there's going to be when they're going to pull the rug out from underneath you with a tempo shift, or just drop a breakdown that sounds like the world's ending. That unpredictability, it's addictive, and their live shows, total chaos. Walls of death, nonstop pits, people launching off of the stage, diving into the crowd. It's like a war zone. Fans love it. Let's see, artistic growth and a tear in the fabric of their life. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. In 2021, Knocked Loose put out an EP called A Tear in the Fabric of Life. And this wasn't just another batch of bangers. It was a full-on concept piece about grief and death. It came with an animated short film, and the whole thing felt like a horror movie set to the music. The sound was darker, more atmospheric, and emotionally crushing. It showed a different side of the band, like, yeah, they could make you throw fists in a pit, but they really could make you feel something. Deep grief, hopefulness, reflection. It was ambitious, and it paid off. Critics loved it, fans were floored, and suddenly Knocked Loose was no longer in just a great live band. They were pushing the envelope of creativity as well. So, what are they doing in 2025? Fast forward now, Knocked Loose is showing zero signs of slowing down. They're hitting festival stages all over the world. They're playing right before headliners at some of the biggest heavy music events out there. And they've been steadily teasing new material. If you haven't heard any of the new tracks that have dropped this year, you know they're experimenting even more with tempo, structure, and tone. The aggression is still there. It's smarter, more refined. They are blending hardcore and death metal, metalcore and sludge, whatever they feel like, really, and it's working. So, and let's be honest, they're basically headliners now. They've earned that. You look at the festival lineup, and their name's not on there. You look at the festival lineup, and their name's not just there, it's up there, and rightfully so. They definitely earned it. So the future. So what's next for Knocked Loose? Honestly, they're in a really exciting spot. or they could go any direction. Maybe we'll get a full concept album. Maybe they lean even harder into the death metal side. Or maybe they surprise us all with a full experimental. Who knows? What's clear is they're not going to try to stay in the box. And I think that's why the fans really love them. Every release, every show, every interview, it feels unpredictable. Dangerous even. You never know what you're going to get from Knocked Loose, but you know how it's going to hit. You know it's definitely going to hit hard from them. So, closing thoughts. To wrap this up, Knocked Loose is one of the most important heavy bands in heavy music right now. They've built something raw, passionate, and completely their own. Whether you're a hardcore purist, a metalcore kid, or just someone who loves music that makes you feel like the walls are closing in, this is the band for you. Let me know if you listen to Knocked Loose in the comments down below. Tell me what your favorite song is for me to check out. So, if you guys don't know, Ringo Starr was not the original drummer for the Beatles. Today we're tipping our hats to and our sticks to a man whose name is etched in one of the most iconic original stories in human history. Pete Best, the original drummer for the Beatles. He has officially retired from performing. Let me see if I can find. Yep, here we go. There we go. Let's see. And if And if that name was just made you pause, well, you're about to get a little musical education. Before there was Ringo Starr, before there was Shea Stadium, before Ed Sullivan, there was Pete Best. Hired in 1960, Pete was the backbeat behind the early Beatles, pounding out rock and roll in the smoky clubs in Hamburg, Germany, and Liverpool's famous Cavern Club. He played over 200 gigs with the band, and that's not a footnote. That's a foundation. That's a lot of shows. 200 shows. But in 1962, as the Beatles were about to explode, Pete was let go, replaced by Ringo. His departure has long been one of the most controversial shakeups in music lore. Was it musical chemistry? Was it the mop top image? Was it just fate doing its unpredictable thing? There are theories abound as to what it is. For decades, Pete Best stayed largely quiet about the breakup that changed the world. Not just in his favor, but there's a twist. He never let it define him. In the 90s, he returned to the stage with the Pete Best Band, telling his story through rhythm and resilience. He toured, he jammed, and he reclaimed his piece of the Beatles' legacy with grace. Now, at 83, Pete Best is stepping away from the drum kit, not with bitterness, but with dignity, love for the music that he started. And honestly, how many people can say that they were almost a Beatle? And it's incredible to be alive and be able to claim to be a former member of the Beatles. There aren't that many left. So Pete, you may not have made it onto Abbey Road, but you were there at the crossroads. And for that, the music world salutes you. So if you've been watching our show, if you've been paying attention, I like to throw out some shout outs to local musicians. Right now I'm starting with musicians in the Philadelphia area. And this next band, I saw them live, I want to say sometime last year. Incredible band. They definitely gave me Thrice feels, Thrice influence, which is one of my favorite bands. They were really good live. They have, I believe they had 3 guitars. My buddy Brad Parsons, the Chris Farley of the Lansdale music scene, plays bass in the band. If you haven't seen Brad play a show, it's a show all in itself. But let me tell you a little bit about Modern Culture. They're a band that originated from the Philadelphia music scene, they established themselves in 2021. They have cultivated a synced sound that blends elements of indie rock, post-punk, and shoegaze, creating an atmospheric and emotional resonance in the musical experience. Their music often features layered guitar work and introspective lyrics, reflecting the vibrant and diverse music scene of their hometown. The band released several singles and EPs, including covers, well-known songs like Pink Skies, Fast Car, and Careless Whisper, and Summertime Sadness. We've all had that summertime sadness. These tracks showcase their abilities to reinterpret classics with their unique style, offering fresh perspectives on familiar tunes. They're active on their social media. They engage with their audience through platforms like Facebook and Instagram. Their Facebook page provides their upcoming shows and new releases. Make sure you go and follow them. Great local band, great band live, great recordings. You won't be disappointed. So that's all the news that we have for today. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment.